Hi, everybody, and welcome to the community. We are so glad that you are here. Just thrilled. So, I'm just going to give you a little run through of how to navigate through the community so that your time here is going to be really positive and you're going to be able to connect and you're going to be able to access lots of fantastic resources and lots of brilliant masterminds and everything, and you can connect with the other members, and it's going to be awesome. So when you first come in, you're going to get this little welcome checklist. And so you can click on this little list here to help you orientate through. So you can click on the Welcome to the Backyard Peace Project, and it takes you here. And then there's a little video to watch, and you can sign the Backyard Peace Pledge, and then you can take a selfie and stick it on the wall in there. And it just gives you a little summary of what we're doing here and what you can do to really get the benefits of it. So there's the little welcome. So once you've accessed that, you have the little tick. Then you can introduce yourself. So it'll take you to a screen and you can write down who you are, why you're here, and all of those sorts of wonderful things so that we can all get to know you, which is really cool. And of course, once you've done that, the tick goes in there. You can sign the Backyard Peace Project here. So that's just to remind you that you can click on here and that will take you to the Backyard Peace Pledge. And it's just this little promise of how we are intending to show up in our lives. It's not saying we have to be perfect. It's not expecting us to get everything right all the time, but it's sort of that sort of dedication to becoming the best versions of ourselves that we can be for our families and for our communities and for the world. And so when you've done that, you can tick that off. Brilliant. You can fill out your profile. Now, filling out your profile is really cool because what happens is as other members join, you will be able to connect with them, and the algorithm will connect you to people who you have things in common with. So you'll be able to see on their profile, which I'll show you in a minute, and you'll be able to say, oh, that person's got something in common with me. Maybe that would be a good friend for me to have. So that's a really important thing to fill out your profile. Adjust your notifications. So you can download the app here. So that you can just access it on your phone if you want to, which is really cool. And so that here you can do as activity happens, that you can have a little email telling you what's happening, or your daily digest, which is giving you the highlights of what happens each day. Something is released every day for you guys, some sort of resource, because what we're really doing is cultivating your inner peace. I have worked with multimillionaires who are self-made, and I have worked with people who have no money to invest with me. And everybody that I've worked with my trauma practice has been looking for inner peace, regardless of their situation, regardless of their neighborhood, regardless of their family upbringing, regardless of the financial situation. Everyone has been wanting to cultivate that inner peace, which is one of the reasons why I've started this. So it's super accessible, and so we can really support each other in that mission of getting that inner peace, because that is such a gift to the world, to your family, to your relationships, to your communities, to your workplace. So that's really very cool. Invite somebody to your network. So you have the opportunity of typing in email addresses here and say, hey, this is where I am. It's very cool. Why don't you come and join us? It would be awesome. And that obviously, the more the community grows, the more we are going to be able to take this movement. And it's very exciting that you're here at the grassroots, because it's the more we're going to be able to take this movement and make something really special and make some really amazing change in the world. And then, of course, you can download the app, and that will take you here. And then you can click on whatever option that you need so that you've got it on your phone. It's really great to get you off of social media and get you into this really positive platform, so that you have somewhere to scroll where you're being nourished and held and celebrated and supported. So that's really cool. So hooray, we've done our checklist. That's brilliant. So we can close that. Now I want to take you down this left-hand side here. So what we have is lots of places for you to explore. But as you're coming in, you can click on members. And that was a really cool little feature where you can have a look here on who's around, who's online, etc., who you can connect with. And it's really awesome to be able to connect in and see who's there and who you'd like to connect with, which is very cool. Now, the global feed is really cool, because here you have featured places that you can visit. So here's the welcome video, which you probably will have done in your checklist, but then there's a Monday book club. So each Monday we release a summary of a really inspiring book. So it might inspire you to go and read that book, or the 10 highlighted lessons from that book might just be enough to make you think, oh, that's really interesting. I'm going to take that into my day. I'm going to let that filter through my lens. I'm going to let that affect how I turn up intentionally in my interactions today. So Monday book clubs are very cool. A thought for the day on Tuesday. So the thoughts, how we think affects everything about our lives. Okay, so I'm not sure how much you're into law of attraction and how our bodies respond and how our subconscious works, etc., etc. We'll be talking about more than that. That's my jam. But the thoughts that we're thinking really do directly affect how we show up in our lives. And so this is really a moment of pause to be able to connect with an inspiring quote, an inspiring thought, so that you can carry that into your day and let that be your prominent focus. So that would be very, very cool. Wednesdays is mindfulness. So there'll be a beautiful 5-minute meditation on there. Ooh, just to be able to stop and recalibrate and reset and come back to a place of center and calm. Now, my days can be very full. I can be up at 4:30 in the morning, finishing at 10 o'clock at night, as anybody knows me knows, because I've got 5 children as well as my businesses to navigate through. And oftentimes, if I've got some time in the middle of the day, I will just sit and do some mindfulness. I just like to rest my brain, just recalibrate my heart and my brain coherence, and just sit in quiet and just allow my nervous system to settle. Because if I can rest deeply in the daytime sometime, and it might be snippets of 5 minutes, it might be a 20-minute block, it might be 10 minutes. I come out, and instead of getting 4 hours work done in one, if I rest, if I push myself through, I get 1 hour's work done in four. So I have found this to be profoundly powerful in my life. And so it's just a really lovely invitation to remember to pause and recalibrate. And there's some gorgeous meditations in there, and nice and quick, so that you don't have to sit for hours. You can just sit really intentionally for 5 minutes. Thursday, we're focusing on self-care. So there's some really easy to introduce into your day things that we can think about so that we're really looking after ourselves. Because once we look after ourselves as a whole person, our experience in the outer world just gets better and better. So that's a really important one. And then Friday, I love, is celebration. So it's really important to celebrate something about yourself this week. Oftentimes we're caught up in the goals and the plans and the future and all of those sorts of things. And it's really, really important to take that moment to reflect and celebrate big or little wins. Sometimes little wins are big. Like a few weeks ago, I had really, really intense flu. And I managed to continue working because I absolutely love my work, but I wasn't able to have my meetings. And I was feeling a bit down about not having my meetings because I really hate letting people down. But I did celebrate the fact that I got a lot done. I didn't waste the time. I was very intentional, and I was able to rebook those meetings very quickly so that I didn't really let anybody down in the long term. So it's really, really important that even when you feel like you haven't done brilliantly, look at the small things that you've achieved. Look at the smaller things, that the small things have got so much power to build the big things. So it's really, really lovely to have that reflection on a Friday and head into the weekend feeling pretty high vibe. There's the discovery section here. If you go into the discovery, you can see what posts have been happening. You can see the top members here. You can see the featured again, so that you can find it in this space too. And there's also some top spaces here for you to look at. So you'll be able to explore these whenever you're ready. Now, what I would love to draw your eye to is here we've got our global ambassadors. So what you will probably do is explore knowledge. So you go into the explore knowledge section, and then you'll see the lessons that have been released. So you'll be able to go in here and look at our beautiful global ambassadors and have a look at who has released their content. And when they've released their content, it's fantastic. You can click on them and you can see what's happening. So Colette here is an amazing, amazing woman, does a lot of work with super conscious and unconscious work. And so you can come in here and watch her things. And then if you think, you know, Colette's amazing, I really want to explore her work a little bit more, you can go into the BYPP Global Ambassador section and you can click on Colette's profile, and there's a little bit more about Colette and some ways that you can get in touch with her. So that's really cool. So here we have our little daily clubs. There's also a live stream tab here. So every Wednesday I go live. And so those will be here ready for you to watch if you haven't been able to look at it live. Then there's the weekly morning meditation. And so this is very much about, click on the feed, having one focus for every morning of that week. So this focus for this week is on gratitude and abundance. And again, these are only a few minutes long, but waking up in the morning and then sitting and listening to something like this is such a great way to start the day. To start the day with intention. That's what all of these little clubs here are intended for, is for you to start the day with intention, because that is so, so powerful. When we start the day with positive intention, it really does affect the kind of day that we have. And then here we have micro community events. And that's very cool because here's all different ways that you can, at very low cost, events in your local community. So you can start taking what you learn and the connections and the conversations and all of the aha moments and all of the shifts that you're having, and you can do some really lovely things in your community. That are very low cost. And then when we encourage you to take photographs and post it, because this is about us starting to spread our inner peace to our relationships, our workplaces, our families, and our communities. So this is a really cool little chapter that you can explore. And so it's really awesome for you guys to have contact with each other. And so, for example, here we've got a 7-day joy invitation. So you might think, I'm going to do 7 days to joy. And so you might start that, and you have day 1, having embraced the power of gratitude, day 2, play like a child. And inside here, there are all sorts of resources and ideas of what you can inject into your daily life. It's not going to cost you anything. It's just going to get you positively focused and nurturing yourself. And then here in the 7 days of joy, you've got a chat element here. So you can start having a chat saying, hey, I am here and ready to go. And then you can pop that in, and then somebody else can come in and they can really start having a chat with you in there. So all of these features here are meant for you to explore at your own pace. And it's really very cool if you can start chatting with your members, because you can discover as well which members are in your area, because you can do a little meetup with them as well. So it's really awesome. This is the grassroots of this community, guys. So all of your feedback is very welcomed. We're very excited for this. We've got huge visions. We've got massive plans bubbling around in the background, which is going to be very exciting for all of us. So please do interact, introduce yourself, talk to each other, connect, build some friendships, and then invite your friends in, because obviously the more the community grows, the more the movement grows, and the more we can do with that, and we can start doing some very exciting things. So I hope this all makes sense. Thank you so much for being here. And if there's ever anything that you'd like to talk about, I'm always available. You can always message me. So you can go to your chat here, this chat box here, and message me anything that you might want to say. Notifications are here, so you can have a look at what's happened while you haven't been there. And here you can invite other members in, so it's very cool. So I'm really looking forward to getting to know you. I'm really excited that you're here. Thank you so much. And I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon. Thanks, guys.